In a small, isolated village nestled deep within the mountains, there lived a boy named Arjun. His family had never known wealth or comfort. They were farmers, but not the kind of farmers who owned large lands or rich fields. Arjun's family had a small piece of infertile land, passed down through generations. Their life was one of constant struggle, but despite the hardships, Arjun's parents always dreamed of a better future for their son. Arjun, with his bright eyes and curious nature, inherited that same dream. While his peers played outside, Arjun spent his afternoons helping his father in the fields, learning everything he could about farming. He didn't just want to grow crops like the others. He wanted to revolutionize farming in his village. He had a vision of creating a model farm, one that could feed not just his village, but the neighboring ones as well. He wanted to prove that hard work could transform even the poorest of lands. But as time passed, people started doubting his dream. "How can a poor boy like you become a successful farmer?" they scoffed. "Your family can barely grow enough to feed themselves. You're dreaming of something that's never going to happen." These harsh words cut deep into Arjun's heart. But he didn't give up. He believed in himself, and more importantly, he believed in his dream. Every day, Arjun worked tirelessly in the fields with his father. His hands were calloused, his back aching, but he kept going. His family lived in a tiny hut, barely big enough to fit them, but they never lacked love. His mother would always tell him, "Arjun, never lose hope. Your dreams are the seeds, and your hard work is the water. One day you'll see it grow." Despite his mother's encouraging words, the obstacles seemed endless. Their land was rocky, the soil dry, and the weather was unpredictable. Still, Arjun couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to his life than simply surviving. He was determined to find a way to make his dream a reality. One evening, after another hard day in the fields, Arjun sat alone by the riverbank, staring at the flowing water. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the water, and his heart felt heavy with doubt. The sound of the river seemed to speak to him, reminding him of the relentless passage of time. Suddenly, an old man, whom Arjun had never seen before, sat next to him. He was an elderly traveler, his clothes worn, but his eyes filled with wisdom. Arjun, feeling a deep sense of sadness, shared his frustrations with the old man. He spoke of his dreams, his struggles, and how he felt trapped by his circumstances. The old man listened patiently, his eyes soft and understanding. Then, in a voice filled with warmth, the old man said, "Son, the land will give you what you put into it, but the real strength comes from within. Your heart, your perseverance, and your belief in your dream. These are the true seeds that will bear fruit. Never give up, even when the world seems to be against you." The old man's words struck a chord in Arjun. He realized that he had been focusing so much on the struggles and setbacks that he had forgotten the importance of believing in himself. The next day, he woke up early, his heart full of renewed determination. He decided to put his dream into action, no matter the challenges. He used the little money he had saved to buy seeds and farming tools. He didn't have much, but he was willing to risk it all. Arjun began experimenting with different farming techniques. He worked day and night, nurturing the land, learning from every mistake, and never giving up. Slowly but surely, the soil began to improve. The crops grew, and with each passing season, his small farm began to flourish. But just as things seemed to be turning around, disaster struck. A severe drought hit the village, and many farmers lost their crops. Arjun's farm, though small, managed to survive, but barely. The weather had been cruel, and his family was on the verge of losing everything. Arjun was devastated. His hard work seemed to be in vain, and he began to doubt everything. He spent sleepless nights wondering if his dream was foolish, if he had been wasting his time. One night, when Arjun could no longer take the weight of his fears, he went to his mother. With tears in his eyes, he said, "I've failed. No matter how hard I try, the world doesn't want me to succeed." His mother, holding his hands, looked at him with gentle eyes. "Arjun, failure is not the end," she said softly. "It is the teacher we did not ask for, but it is the greatest teacher. Every struggle you face, every loss you endure, it is shaping you into the person you need to be. You must keep going, even when you feel you have nothing left." Those words coming from his mother filled Arjun's heart with strength. The next day he went to the river once again, looking at the water, now clear and calm. He realized that just as the river never stops flowing, neither could he. He had to keep going, no matter how tough the journey. With renewed faith, Arjun invested in better irrigation systems, sought help from experts, and started diversifying his crops. Over time, his efforts began to bear fruit. Slowly but surely, his farm became a symbol of success. He was able to expand, hire workers, and even help the other struggling farmers in the village. Years later, Arjun stood in front of his thriving farm, a smile on his face, as he looked over acres of lush green fields. His journey had been long and filled with hardship, but he had made it. He had turned his dream into reality. Arjun's story teaches us that success is not about the absence of failure. It's about having the courage to keep going despite it. When life knocks you down, remember that every struggle you face is not a sign of defeat, but a step towards growth. Faith, hard work, and resilience can transform even the toughest circumstances into opportunities. Never give up on your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. Like Arjun, you too can build your dream with unwavering determination and faith.